formed? How is lymph formed? Write its composition. Write its composition. Noted, everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Acha, now I want to ask group leaders, in your group, check how many students are absent. And you have to report it to me that from your group, how many students have completed the nutrition, respiration and transportation. Because 3 PDFs I said, आपको ये ensure करना है कि आपके group के all members, they have completed the 3 processes. And today I will complete the excretion, तो वो भी आपको मिल जाना चाहिए कल शाम तक. All the students have to send the PDF of the excretion part by tomorrow 6 o'clock. I am giving you the time. मतलब live process पूरा complete हो जाएगा कल 6 o'clock तक. Because I will consider that whatever I am giving the questions, 2 questions today, they will only be left. Rest also you have already completed. Okay, अब that is your part that you have done or not. अब हो सकता है कुछ बच्चों को आज ही बैठ के पूरे करने पड़े. Okay, but you have to complete and send the PDF by 6 o'clock tomorrow. That's very clear to everyone. Achha, so group members are telling me that from your group, how many members are present? The group leaders. So I want the group.
Ma'am, lymph की composition
Lymph
क्या होती है?
composition, it consists of the plasma. Then you will say the small proteins, WBCs, and the salts, the ions. Okay, it does not have the.
मैम ये शायद पिछले साल के नोटबुक में भी है शायद
पिछले साल लिम्फ दिया था पढ़ने. लिम्फ था
मैम शायद से
पार्ट.
अच्छा दोनों किया था. हाँ तो देख लेना. अभी भी तो इस बार भी तो आई हैव डिस्कस्ड.
मैम प्लाज्मा, WBC, सॉल्ट्स एंड.
हाँ, प्लाज्मा, WBC, lymphocytes, small proteins and some mineral ions. You write down mineral ions. Noted? So that is the, it is yellowish in color or straw colored. ये बताना पड़ता है. Done?
Ma'am, can you please once more repeat?
I said it is yellowish in color, consisting of the plasma, the WBCs, small proteins, and mineral ions. So this is the composition of your lymph. And how is it formed? So you know it is formed by the filtering out of the blood plasma. Saurabh, my question was that write the composition of the lymph. Okay, write the composition of lymph. And then I said, how is it formed? In the same question, you have to say. The last question includes 2 parts. Write the composition of the lymph. How is it formed? So it is formed by the filtering out of the blood, passing through the fine capillaries. तो इसलिए अपन उसको एक्स्ट्रा सेलुलर फ्लूइड भी बोलते हैं, इंटरस्टिशियल फ्लूइड भी बोलते हैं. Okay, because it is present outside the cells, okay, in the intercellular spaces. So you call it as extracellular fluid or interstitial fluid. ठीक है, तो सारे नाम आपको पता है, सब नोट कर लिया होगा. Now I am starting with the plant reproduction, children. So I will share. Yes, say.
Filtrated by the blood, then
Passing through the fine blood capillaries. Passing through the fine blood capillaries.
Ma'am, Shubham and Suruchi are absent from my group.
अच्छा, okay. Shubham and Suruchi.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ठीक है. Now tell me one by one, all group leaders जल्दी से बता दो कि कौन कौन absent है. Sneha, how many members are there in your group? Sneha,
Ma'am, 7.
7 are there all. ठीक है, अभी
नहीं,
एक
9,
absent है
9.
मतलब क्या? 9 are there, Sneha.
Yes, ma'am, 9.
ठीक है, so in your group means all are present.
मैम मैंने तो बताया 2
ठीक है.
लोग एब्सेंट हैं.
अच्छा, आप ही बोल रहे हो 2 लोग absent. तो आपके ग्रुप में टोटल मेंबर्स कितने हैं?
9 में से शुभम और सुरुचि एब्सेंट हैं.
अच्छा अच्छा, ओके. 9 members are there, so 2 are absent. ठीक है, इशिका गुप्ता in your group.
Ma'am, I am not the leader.
You are not the leader. Okay, Tanya is the leader. Okay, so Tanya, in your group, how many members are there? Okay, Tanya has already written
Ma'am, 7.
21. 3 students are absent. ठीक है. इन absentees को तो ये विशेष यश और त्र्यंबकेश, these children are not attending properly. Okay, so all group leaders just write it like this only. Okay, note it down and write it in the biology group after the class. Okay, so I'll not waste my time. We will start with the plant reproduction. Now, children, remember what are, number one, you have to understand that what are the waste materials which have
मैम
to be removed out of. Yes, yes, Neha.
मैम
Ma'am, excretion.
Plant excretion.
मैम
हाँ, plant
आपने
excretion.
जो
As a
क्वेश्चन
reproduction.
दिया था रिवीजन टेस्ट में, उसमें था एक कि हाउ
Yes.
द pH value is maintained. So I want to ask that
हाँ,
question.
good. Okay, okay. See, the pH value is maintained how? That you have to understand. It's a very simple question. When we were discussing, उसको अच्छे से समझ लो. The food comes into the buccal cavity, then food goes into the stomach, and you know, in the stomach, the food gets mixed up with the gastric juice. Okay, which is secreted by the gastric glands, and these glands are present in the walls of the stomach. ठीक है, और जो gastric juice होता है उसमें HCl present होता है. So that HCl will make the medium acidic. So the pH will be acidic pH. Okay, and when we say acidic pH, simply you say it is less than 7. Okay, so you have to, the question was asked like that only, that how was the
pH of food maintained in stomach
pH
and
level
small
maintained.
intestine.
pH level maintained in the stomach and the small intestine. So you should say that in the stomach, the acidic pH is needed for the digestion of the food, because the enzymes become active, or they are active in the acidic medium or the acidic pH. Okay, and this acidic pH is maintained by the HCl, which is secreted by the gastric glands. Is it very clear, Sneha, this much कि stomach में कैसे
मैम
maintain हो रहा
एसिडिक
है?
मीडियम चाहिए क्यों स्टमक में?
Because the proteolytic enzymes, they will be active in the acidic medium. They will become active in the acidic medium. Okay, trypsinogen, trypsinogen, no, that is your pepsinogen, gets active only when the HCl is present there. Okay, so pepsinogen gets converted into pepsin. So try to turn the pages. We have written all these equations also. Okay, so stomach का तो clear हो गया, स्नेहा? Clear हो गया?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then we come to the small intestine. So in the small intestine, remember the proteolytic enzymes which are present, they need the alkaline medium. Okay, so there the alkaline medium is maintained by the
Bile
bile
juice.
juice. So by the bile juice. Okay, so bile juice is alkaline in nature. तो दोनों बात आपको इसमें दो पैराग्राफ में अलग अलग बताना था. स्टमक में the pH needed is the acidic pH, which is maintained by the HCl secreted by the gastric glands. Okay, and in the small intestine, the alkaline or the basic pH is needed, which is maintained by the bile juice secreted by the liver. Okay, reaches in the duodenum to the hepatopancreatic duct. To the hepatopancreatic duct. ये सब आप लिख सकते हो, ये सब अपन ने पढ़ा ही है. Understood everyone? Yes or no?
Yes,
जल्दी
ma'am.
जल्दी बोलो. Any other doubt, children?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So shall we move ahead?
एंड मैम वो अमीबा वाले में डायग्राम दिया नहीं था, तो ऐसा बोर्ड में भी आएगा कि हमें खुद से ही ड्रॉ करना होगा?
Which one? Which one?
अमीबा वाला.
Amoeba. Okay, amoeba. So we have done in the class only. I told you you should make the steps.
बट
Okay,
मैम
ingestion
डायग्राम
का
का लिखा नहीं था ना.
हाँ, तो अगर वेटेज ज्यादा है तो बनाना पड़ेगा. वेटेज ज्यादा है तो then you will have to do. Okay, you have to see the weightage, and this figure is very important for the board exam, children. ये अलग से ही आ जाता है कि explain the process of nutrition in amoeba with the help of diagram only. ओके, मतलब सिर्फ डायग्राम ही बनाना पड़ेगा, और उस डायग्राम में अगर आपने 5 स्टेप्स नहीं दिखाए तो देन यू विल नॉट गेट फुल मार्क्स. You know the 5 steps are involved in the nutrition in amoeba. So in your figure, all those steps should come. You have seen the PDFs which are sent. ओके, डायग्राम्स का पहले वाला जो हमने कुछ चेक किए थे पेपर्स और भेज दिए थे, उनमें तो बच्चों ने बहुत अच्छा बनाया है. इंजेक्शन अलग दिखाया 3 स्टेजेस से, फिर देन डाइजेशन, एब्जॉर्प्शन, एसिमिलेशन शोन बाय 1, then 1 is showing the excretion where the residual body is reaching near the plasma membrane of the amoeba and bursting out. Okay, so this is the very important diagram. Same way that reproduction in amoeba is also very important for the board. ऐसे nutrition in amoeba is also very important for the board exam.
मैम
Clear?
अगर 3 या 5 मार्क्स का होता है तो डायग्राम उसमें बनाना ही है खुद से ही.
बनाना ही है, हाँ, बनाना ही है. Don't wait for the question to say that draw the diagram. Question will not mention. It may be mentioned, it may not be mentioned in the question. But if you know that the weightage is of 3 marks and the 5 marks, so support your answer with the diagram. Is it very clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now any other student want to ask something? Yes, Priyanshi, want to say something? Okay, so we can start now.
No,
with the
ma'am.
plant excretion. Yes or no? जल्दी जल्दी बोलो. I'm presenting my screen now. Okay, so you tell me what are the waste products which have to be removed out of the plant body. चलिए जल्दी से बोलना स्टार्ट.
मैम कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड.
Very good. Carbon dioxide.
Oxygen.
So what you do, children, write down. Is my screen visible to you?
No, ma'am, not yet.
Not yet. Now you will get it. Okay, we are starting with the plant excretion. So first of all of you all note down the waste products which have to be removed out of the plant body. Waste in plants. So what are the waste in plants? So write down number 1. So number 1 what you said? CO2. ओके साथ साथ अपन समझते जाएंगे कि अगर CO2 वेस्ट है तो हाउ इट विल बी रिमूव्ड. ओके सो CO2 हाउ इट विल बी रिमूव्ड चिल्ड्रन कैन यू टेल मी?
From the stomata.
Ma'am, stomata.
Through the stomata.
So write down CO2 it is released out during respiration. ये सब लिख दो. The whole story you know. Okay, CO2 produced during respiration. Produced during respiration. You got the screen or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
जल्दी से लिखते जाइए. Produced during respiration and is removed out through stomata. Where these stomatas are present, so you can write down where they are present.
On the
whole story.
surface of leaves.
सरफेस बोलोगे क्या बोलोगे?
Lower epidermis.
हाँ, very good. You have to say that lower epidermis of the leaves present in the lower epidermis of the leaves. So you have to be little more technical. Terms have to be used, children. Remember. Okay, so तो ये सारा कुछ ऐड कर देना. Produced during respiration and is removed out through the stomata. Now tell me quickly what is the second waste. Second waste, quickly say.
Water.
Water. लेकिन कौन सा water? You have to say excess water. Is it clear to you? You will say excess water. बाकी सारा water तो नहीं remove करना है. The excess water. And how it will be removed?
Transpiration.
Through the process of transpiration.
Through the stomata. Again through stomata. During transpiration process. So you know that excess water, if it is present in the plant, that is removed out through the stomata and during the process of the transpiration. Now the next waste. What will be the next waste?
O2.
Again? Yeah. O2. O2 तो again stomata.
Oxygen.
O2 we don't consider it as a waste, ना? ठीक है, और बताइए. What else?
Metabolic waste.
Metabolic waste. Okay, right.
में तो
Metabolic waste. Okay, so the metabolic waste, remember children, some metabolic waste, the different methods are there. Metabolic waste का एक method क्या होता है? That it will be stored up. It will be stored in the specific glands. Specific glands. Okay, so metabolic waste में यहाँ आप gum, raisins ये सब लिख लो. What will be the waste? Gum, then okay, raisins, then it will, other one will be latex. You have seen gum तो सबको पता है ना, बबूल के पेड़ में से गम निकलता है, वो उसका वेस्ट है. Okay, raisins also are only, that is also the waste of the plant. Then you must have seen from some plants the white fluid, milky fluid comes out. Listening, children? Listening or not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, find the white, that milky substance coming out, that is called latex. तो ये सारी चीजें क्या कहलाती हैं? ये सब metabolic waste है. And these metabolic waste, how they will be removed out? So remember children, they will be removed out of the system by getting stored in specific glands. तो प्लांट में ही, बॉडी में ही वो सिस्टम से when I say, remember children, out of the cells. Okay, all the functions are carried out in the cells. क्लियर टू यू एवरीवन? अब जब हम बोलते हैं कि आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम, तो एक बात याद रखिए, वो सेल से बाहर आ जाएगा. सेल से बाहर आने के बाद में specific glands are present, that is the latex glands are there, raisins glands are there, gums glands are there. तो वो उन glands में जाके store up हो जाता है. Okay, and that way they are being removed from the plant body. Okay, now other method. तो ये इसमें आप इसका you write it like that only. The gums, raisins, latex, they are stored in the specific glands. Then the other metabolic waste, the other method. Okay, the other method is what? It will be, that is the metabolic waste. Okay, transported to older parts. Okay, and when they will be transported to older parts, तो क्या होता है older parts का?
older parts को गिर जाते हैं
या
मैम, वो नीड्स के फॉर्म में गिर जाते होंगे,
गिर जाएंगे. हाँ, the older parts will be falling down. Okay, तो वो plants से अपने आप अलग हो जाएंगे. So the other metabolic waste, तो plants में क्या क्या system है समझ में आ गया? CO2 is one waste, so it will be removed out through the stomata. Excess water, that will also be removed out through the stomata during the process of respiration. और ये रेस्पिरेशन के समय निकलेगा. मेटाबॉलिक वेस्ट जो गम, रेजिन्स, लेटेक्स है, वो तो एक अलग स्पेसिफिक ग्लैंड्स में स्टोर अप हो जाएंगे एंड विल बी रिमूव्ड आउट ऑफ द सिस्टम. एंड सम ऑफ द मेटाबॉलिक वेस्ट विल बी transported to the
older parts of the plants.
and will shed off. Done, everyone? Yes or no? So now the question is, how do the plants, this question is given in the book also, how do plants get rid of their waste? Okay, this is the question. So we have completed with the life process now. Now your duty, children, to read all the questions of the textbook. और टेक्स्ट बुक में जितने भी बीच बीच में पेजेस पर क्वेश्चंस दिए हैं, यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर. क्लियर टू यू और नॉट, चिल्ड्रन?
यस मैम.
हार्ड और नॉट? अच्छा, ऐसा करना पड़ेगा कि आई विल राइट डाउन पेज नंबर दिस क्वेश्चन, पेज नंबर दिस क्वेश्चन. आई विल सेंड इट इन योर व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप that these questions you write it in the notebook, और बाकी के questions ऐसे ही आप prepare कर लीजिए directly from the textbook. And those important ones which you know mostly तो we cover up. Okay, few questions may be there which you have not done, so that question you will have to write down, and others all we have done. So I'm now starting with the new chapter, that is your how do organisms reproduce. तो अब जल्दी से, ये इतना हो गया, all have noted? Yes,
Ma'am, ma'am, there was one question that how is the amount of urine formed regulated? So you were about to discuss about that.
अच्छा, that one is remaining. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Just turn your page, जहाँ पर लिख रहे थे उधर पर लिखना चालू कर दो, फिर हम उसको कंप्लीट कर देते हैं. I'll explain you quickly then. Okay, it's simple. थोड़ा सा ध्यान करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी उसमें, चिल्ड्रन, that how the amount of urine regulated, amount of urine formed regulated. Okay, so now children, you all know the amount of urine formed is quite different in different season. Okay, I want someone to tell me. Lalit Meena will tell me. Lalit, do you find that in all the seasons the amount of urine formed is same? Lalit, jaldi jaldi bolo. यश काबरा, अच्छा they just means start the meeting and they run away. Is it like that? Harshit Jain,
Yes, ma'am.
can you tell me the amount of urine formed is same or it is different in the different seasons?
Ma'am, it is different in all the season.
All the seasons. How is it different?
Ma'am, in winter, there is a large amount of urine
Large
regulated.
amount of urine will be produced. Okay. Then,
In summer, there are less amount of urine regulated, and in
huh?
winter, moderate amount of urine is regulated.
Correct, correct. Very good. Rainy season, the amount will be too much. Okay, in the winter season, it will be comparatively lesser. And in the summer season, you find it is very less. Okay, and the frequency of urination will also be according to that only. Okay, तो ये क्यों ऐसा होता है, ये याद रखना है कि it is because the kidney is helping in the osmoregulation also. The kidney is helping in which other function, children?
Osmoregulation.
Say,
Osmoregulation.
Osmoregulation.
osmoregulation का मतलब होता है, can anyone tell? Sakshi Dhakar, can you tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
Sakshi Dhakar will speak up. What is osmoregulation? Sakshi will not say, na? Abhishek Bhargav.
मैम
हाँ,
मैम वो गैस्ट्रिक ग्लैंड्स में गैस्ट्रिक ग्लैंड्स में वो मेटाबॉलिक वेस्ट प्लांट्स में चला जाता है, फिर वहां से कैसे जाता होगा?
वो फिर बाद में ड्राई अप हो जाता है. दैट विल ड्राई अप एंड दैट विल रिमेन. अगर वो बॉडी में भी रहेगा, प्लांट बॉडी में भी रह जाएगा ना, तो इट विल नॉट हार्म द प्लांट, चिल्ड्रन. ओके. समटाइम्स इन सम प्लांट्स यू मस्ट हैव सीन कि उनमें ज्यादा हो जाता है तो इट ओजेस आउट नेचुरली. कुछ प्लांट्स में देखना अपने आप वो गम रेजिन्स, गम वाइट मिल्क वो अपने आप ही निकलने लगता है. ओके, तो वो ग्लैंड्स के ऊपर डिपेंड करते हैं. अदरवाइज द प्लांट्स दे विल बी देयर ओनली. ओके, बट इट विल नॉट हार्म द प्लांट. क्लियर ना स्नेहा?
यस मैम.
ओके, तो अब कोई नहीं बोलने वाला है, मतलब सिर्फ सुनना रहता है. अब पता नहीं सुन के याद कितना रखेंगे. सौरभ, now tell me what is
Ma'am,
regulation?
I'm continuous. Ma'am,
Huh?
maintenance of a fluid.
Maintenance of fluid. Only fluid.
Ma'am, fluid like I'm concentration of water and salt.
वाटर एंड सॉल्ट. ये अच्छे से याद कर लो. दैट इज osmoregulation is maintaining the water and ionic concentration. ठीक, और आयंस क्या है आपको पता है, ये अच्छे से याद रखा करो, कॉमन है. जब भी डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाता है, डिहाइड्रेशन अपन किसको बोलते हैं, कब होता है, ये सब लास्ट ईयर अपने डिस्कस किया था कि whenever the person suffers from vomiting or lose motions, तो उनको डिहाइड्रेशन हो जाता है. डिहाइड्रेशन का मतलब क्या है कि वाटरलेस हो गया. वाटरलेस होता है, साथ में ना वाटर के साथ में क्या क्या निकल जाते हैं, द required salts, they are also removed out of the body. And when the salts will be removed out, children, the osmotic concentration of the body fluids will be affected. और body fluids का अगर osmotic concentration बिगड़ जाता है तो याद रखो कोई भी ट्रांसपोर्ट नहीं होगा. और हमारी बॉडी में सेल्स में ट्रांसपोर्टेशन चलता ही रहता है. अगर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन रुक जाएगा तो याद रखो कोई भी मेटाबॉलिक प्रोसेस नहीं हो पाएगा, क्योंकि हर सेल में ग्लूकोज जा रहा है, हर सेल में ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई हो रही है, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड यहाँ से वहां हो रही है, अंदर से बाहर, बाहर से अंदर. दैट प्रोसेस इज गोइंग ऑन. Okay, and that is all possible because of the proper concentration, that is the osmotic pressure. And that osmotic pressure, osmotic concentration is maintained by the kidney. That is maintained by the kidney. अब बात समझना ये कि कब उसको रिटेन करना है, कब ज्यादा. तो याद रखो अगर कोई व्यक्ति ज्यादा सॉल्ट खाता है और सॉल्ट की जरूरत नहीं है उतनी, तो बॉडी विल मेंटेन इट. द किडनी विल डू व्हाट, it will filter out the excess salts, and it will come into the urine. Okay, same way, if more water is there in the body fluid, we talk about the body fluids. I'm talking about the body fluids. अगर body fluids का water content ज़्यादा है, तो then what will happen? इसके receptors रहते हैं, वो chemoreceptors उसको sense कर लेते हैं, and then remember that receptors will send the signal to the pituitary. Okay, the pituitary will secrete, pituitary will get the signal, and it will secrete the hormone. So write down, it will secrete the hormone ADH. ADH. And what is this ADH, children? Antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone. Okay, this antidiuretic hormone, what it does? जैसे ही it means when the body senses that, or when the receptors send the signal to the pituitary that the body fluids are less. So इसका मतलब क्या है? That body cannot afford to lose the water and the ions. So the selective reabsorption has to be increased. So ADH produce होगा, and that will increase the permeability. You can write down, children, in the flow chart form. ओके, क्या फ्लो चार्ट पर हम कैसे स्टार्ट करेंगे? यहाँ पर, यहाँ से स्टार्ट कर लो. ओके, दैट बॉडी फ्लूइड्स, body less. So then what will happen? Pituitary gland will secrete the hormone ADH. And ADH, what it will do? So try to see further what it will do. Increases the permeability. No, increase नहीं होगा, इधर पर क्या होगा? हाँ, okay, it will increase the permeability. अगर permeability बढ़ जाएगी चिल्ड्रन, मतलब selective reabsorption बढ़ जाएगा. Permeability of secretory tubule. Are you all getting, children, what I am saying? More reabsorption. All are noting?
Yes, ma'am.
More reabsorption.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and more reabsorption, so less urine formed. Less urine, less and concentrated. Two things will be the less and concentrated urine will be formed. Urine formed. So this will happen in which season, children?
Winter.
This will happen in the winter. Summer season. Summer. Okay. ठीक है, summer में ना क्या होता है? Sweating is going on. So that's why the amount of the salts and the water na, it is lost. So you find the body fluids will be less. वो osmoreceptors को सेंस कर लेते हैं, वो सिग्नल भेज देते हैं पिट्यूटरी को. पिट्यूटरी जल्दी से क्या करेगा? क्या करेगा पिट्यूटरी?
Release ADH. Secretes ADH.
And then due to the ADH, what will happen?
Permeability of secretory tubule will increase.
Will increase, and when the permeability will increase, so what will happen?
More
Reabsorption.
Reabsorption, and when more reabsorption of water and salts will be there, so what will happen then?
less urine
Less and concentrated urine will be formed.
Okay, and so this is one condition. और अगर body fluids ज़्यादा है, तो opposite हो जाएगा. When the body fluids high or more, you can say. So then just the opposite. So what you will find? Say soon. What will happen then in such condition? No ADH
It will
secretion.
release it. No, it will not release.
No release. Okay, no release of pituitary का लिखो, no release of ADH. ओके, और जब ADH नहीं रिलीज होगा तो फिर क्या होगा? हाँ, what will happen? The permeability of secretory tubule will
Decrease.
decrease. Okay, permeability of secretory tubule will decrease. So because of that, what will happen? Less absorption.
Less reabsorption.
Less reabsorption. Yeah, we will say reabsorption. Selective reabsorption. Okay, this is selective reabsorption. तो वहाँ selective word भी add कर लेना आप. Okay, selective क्यों बोलते हैं? जिस चीज की जरूरत होगी वही reabsorb होगा. That's why we say selective reabsorption. Reabsorption. Then what will happen when it will be there?
More urine.
More urine.
More urine will be formed.
More urine will be formed and it will be less concentrated. तो बस इसी को आपको word form में लिख देना है. That how is the amount of urine formed regulated? Clear to everyone? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. चलिए, तो अब अपन ना थोड़ा सा बस शुरुआत कर देते हैं रिप्रोडक्शन चैप्टर की. Okay, it is already 36. Now question you write down. एक question हमने दे दिया, how do plants get rid of their waste? Other question, this is of your textbook only, that how is the amount of urine form regulated? So write the answer in your notebook, children. This is very very important question for the board exam also. Okay, अब एक question बस कर लो from your chapter, that is how do organisms reproduce. बस reproduction की definition बोल दो. What is reproduction? Who will tell me what is reproduction? Anyone? Priyanshi will tell me.
Ma'am, it is the process of reproducing younger ones.
Young ones. Okay. Okay, so you can write down it is the process of producing one's own kind. Is it clear, children? So that process of producing one's own kind, we call it as reproduction. So cat will produce cat, rat will produce rat, okay, dog will produce dog. So that is only known as reproduction. Very clear to you? अब एक question लिख लो. Then types of reproduction. तो बस ये नाम याद रखना. What are the two types of reproduction you have done in other classes? Yes or no? जल्दी बोल दीजिए.
Yes, ma'am.
Asexual.
Correct. Asexual reproduction, and the second one is your sexual reproduction. Okay, so now my question from this chapter. The first question will be define reproduction. Okay, define reproduction. This is your first part, and name its types. Is it clear? So this way you will start with the chapter. Just two questions I want everyone to write in their fair notebook. Live process should be completed tomorrow 6. PDF should reach by that time, and you have to write these 2 questions also, and we will continue with the chapter. So we'll do Shanti part, children. I'll stop sharing. All have noted this, na? Flow chart form, this, how do, okay, kidneys maintain the amount of urine formed, huh? Okay, Sneha is asking functions of stomata. हाँ स्नेहा फंक्शन स्टोमेटा विल बी 2. ओके, एक ट्रांसपिरेशन होगा, वन विल बी एक्सचेंज ऑफ गैसेस, exchange of O2 and CO2. Okay, so now let us do Shanti part. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Children.
Thank you, ma'am. Sarah, ma'am.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Sai Ram.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.